let's take a bite and see how it goes. Hi everyone! Right, I just got some gas at the petrol station. What else do you do when you go to the petrol station for gas? You get a pie. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go around all the petrol stations in Christchurch and Aotearoa, and we're going to try their pies, their mince and cheese pies. I just got one from here, where are we? NPD, and they've got Refresh Cafe. It's mince and cheese. We're just going to go over there and try it. Let's go. Rightio, first things first, whoosh, temperature probe. I love probing a good pie. This has been out a couple of minutes, so we're going to have to be a little bit lenient. Okay, so 61 degrees, that's pretty good actually, not too bad at all. That's actually not a bad looking pie, I have to say. Very nice shape, cute wee top. Feels soft but not too soft. Let's take a bite and see how it goes. Right. Temperature's really good. It's got a lovely bit of cheese in there, good amount of cheese. It's got that nice kind of doughy pastry that I think is absolutely fantastic. The flavour of the mince, really good. Obviously very savoury. Cheese to mince ratio, really good. Oh, it's got a little bit, quite chunky bits of meat in there, it's good. This was $6.70. What did we find last time? They were around sort of $7, $7 or $8, so I guess this isn't too far off being $6.70, but yeah, I'd rate this. This is a really good pie. I guess if we're going to put it in context of gas station pies, I'd give this a really solid 7 pies out of 10. It is a bloody good pie. So we faffed around a little bit just while we were leaving getting the gas, but I think that actually brought the temperature down ever so slightly, not too much, but the temperature of this pie is actually perfect for eating. It's not too hot, but it is still really hot, but it's not going to scald your mouth with like burning, molten, mincy cheese lava. So, off to the next gas station. Okay, so BP's pie, this is the classic steak and cheese. This pie was only $5.30, so a little bit cheaper. Now we all know what we do, we probe the pie. Chuck that in there. Oh, look at that! Look at that! 70! And it's still going. This is gonna, oh, it's 71. Holy moly. Still climbing, it's 72. This is 72 degree pie. It's sort of hovering around 72, oh, 72.3, 4, let's say 72.5. That is a very warm pie. So far, looking pretty good. It's got a little bit of cheesy, crusty, I don't know if that's Parmesan or not, but I quite like the effort they've put into the top of the pie there. A little less brown on the bottom, but that's okay. Still feels like it's got fairly good integrity. Actually, the walls of this pie have that feeling of the short crust pastry that we fear, the crumbliness, the biscuity pastry, but that's not to say it will be like that, it just sort of has a more sort of robust feeling to the wall. Now let's take a bite and hopefully not burn my face off. All right, that's okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Noticeably hotter than the last one. However, didn't necessarily burn my face off. Pretty good inside. Good amount of cheese, can you see that? A little bit of crumbly around there, which some people love. Honestly, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just not my kind of jam, but quite a thin, you'll see how the bottom's a wee bit saggy. The pastry around the bottom is a little bit thinner than our previous pie, MPD. Also, the mince is good, like it looks really good. It tastes good too. It actually tastes a lot more tomato-y than what I've had so far. But that's not a bad thing. Then we're losing a bit of cheese over here. It's all mince. Cheese seems to be just on this side, so I'll just go exploring one more bit. Yeah, okay. So, that is very hot. No cheese over here. Uh-oh. So that's the sweet spot. Oh man, that's the hot stuff. Oh. That's what holds the heat. The cheese. Ah! So this is a really good pie. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 as well. I think I like the flavor of the mince of that one more, but it was more expensive. I like the flavor of this one slightly less, but it was cheaper, so that it sort of still retains its 7 out of 10 pie score. So nice work, BP. This is really good. 10 out of 10 for heat, if that's the thing. Right, next up, we're gonna go to Caltex. Now it's time for the pie from Caltex service station. And when I was in there, I saw that the pies that they have in there are supplied by a company called Jesters. So they're all Jesters pies. And this one is called a Billy T. And look, you can see a little T on there. I thought that was quite cute. But anyway, let's stab. Huh! Billy T. Hopefully we'll get to 60. You just can never tell. So that got up to 58 degrees, so it's not too bad. Billy T, lean beef mince, gravy, and melted cheddar cheese. So that looks good. The pie itself, big, got a big crust lip. It's got a big lippy crust. That sounds disgusting. There's no way I can say that. Nice. Anyway, a lot darker around the bottom there, and the top very nicely done. Love the little T on top. Let's get into it, shall we? That's a lot of pastry. That's a big solid chunk of pastry right off the bat. Yeah, I think the pastry is good, but when you get a massive mouthful of that like really dry pastry, it just sucks all the saliva out of your mouth. However, the mince itself is delicious. Very savoury, lots of good filling in there. I just try and get big chunks of beef in there, big chunks of meat, which is really nice. Can't see a lot of cheese. There's a wee bit there actually, if you can see that. Lovely flaky pastry on the top. Great filling, the mince and the gravy is really nice. Not a whole lot of cheese. Found a bit around this side here. All in all, a pretty good pie here from, where are we? Caltex? Yeah, Caltex. Their cafe is called Fix. A lot of lovely filling in there, lots of mince, really nice gravy. The integrity of the pastry probably let it down a little bit, and the temperature. Bit of cheese in there, which isn't too bad. I'd give this probably about a 6 out of 10 pies, I reckon. A solid effort, but yeah, just let down by the temp and the amount of pastry around the outside and the thinness on the bottom. Okay, so we just came into Z and got a pie from the pie warmer, of course, and it's really hot. So that is a great sign that this is going to be a hot Z or Z pie, depending on how you like to say it. I love the fact, just initially, that it's got the crusty cheesiness on the top. So let's just pop that in there. Oh yeah, already over 60, that's great. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. That is the sweet spot indeed, 65. Or 666. It's a devil's pie. Hail Satan! Let's have a look at the pie. It's slightly wonky, but I quite like the kind of imperfectness of the top. You know, the others have actually been just precise, whereas this looks like it's gone cheese. They've got the lovely brown color on the bottom. That's cooked to perfection, I think. The walls feel, or they just feel perfect. A little bit flatter than the others, but otherwise, it's got a little wee, woo, woo, honk honk, honk honk. It's got a lovely wee peak there. Time to taste the pie. Now, by the way, this pie was $5.70, so pretty decent price. Here goes the first bite. Oh yeah. Oh, you can see the steam on that one. That's a great amount of filling too. Look at all that beautiful mince. That hits the absolute mark as far as the mince taste that you will know and love. Trust me. But I can't really see a lot of cheese yet. But maybe I'll just need to grab another wee bite from this side over here. Ah, whoa, yeah. That is very hot. Molten. Good, I like it. I like it. It's killing all the bugs. You just need to blow on the pie. You really do need to blow on the pie. Look at all that beautiful mince. The gravy's beautiful. That's perfect. The pastry on top is absolutely phenomenal. The mince is the best yet. There's not a whole bunch of cheese that I can see. There might be over there, or the fact that I just burnt my top lip could have been on cheese, because we know now that cheese is the molten factor. But I would give the Z or the Z pie 8 out of 10. That's a good score. This is a great pie. You'd really like this one. Oh, there we go. Some cheese over there. Yeah, that is fantastic. We saw Gull. Forgot about little old Gull. Anyway, this is a Gull pie. This was $5.99. And of course, we are checking the temperature first. And we're looking 55 straight away. The pie warmer, again, felt really hot, but oh no, this is still climbing. This is okay. So this pie is, let me just swap hands here. This pie's got, I like the top of this pie. I love how they put a bit of a smattering of chaise on top. I always like this. This is a sort of a smaller, deeper pie. Looks pretty good on the bottom as well. Nice wee brown color on there. Good feeling crust, short crust pastry on the outside. And then of course that top looks pretty good as well. So not a bad appearance, not a bad looking pie, I have to say, from Gull. Let's see how it tastes, eh? Oh. Open it up a little bit. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So the only thing I find with like deeper pies is that they start to sag like that. These are the kind of pies that are gonna fall apart. They're gonna go nuts and you're gonna get messy, which is not a big deal. I'm just saying that's kind of what I found. See how they sort of like sag? Those narrower pies just kind of somehow keep it together. Maybe I'm just holding it wrong. I don't know. I'm not a pie expert, what do I know? We can see a bit of cheese in there if we can actually get the roof off a little bit on this one, which is cool. Good bit of cheese around there, not too bad. Lots of filling, good savory flavour. A little bit saltier than the other pies actually. And you notice that temperature is certainly not as hot, but then you don't really want to get scolded by a pie, so this pie is definitely not going to scold you. I forgot to mention, this is a steak and cheese pie. They didn't have any mince and cheese pies, so close enough I think. Although you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a mince and cheese pie, but look, you can see a wee nugget, a wee chunk of steak there, but I can't start judging it on the quality and the amount of the chunks of steak because that's not what we're doing. It's more about the integrity and the flavour. It's not a bad pie. I sort of feel like it will fall apart pretty soon. The pastry is quite thin, and I noticed that the pastry is actually really dry. Sounds odd, doesn't it? Because of course it is, it's cooked, but in that first bite, I was really smacking my lips trying to get some saliva around there because it was sucking up the saliva. I would probably give this pie a 6.5 pies out of 10. It is starting to disintegrate in my hands, probably because I'm faffing around like an old bastard. But so yeah, I think 6.5 is pretty fair for this pie. Having said that, it is a steak and cheese pie. We'll do a whole nother steak and cheese round, I reckon, another time. However, it was good to see what Gull's got on offer. There was hardly any pies in the pie warmer when I got there, so we're lucky to find anything to actually even try. So nice work, Gull. Solid pie, good effort. It's time for the final pie, and I think we've done all the service stations we could find in Christchurch. Not all of them, but all of the different companies, and this one is from Mobil. It is actually a steak and cheese pie, so there were no mince and cheese left, so that's just all we had to go with. This one, however, was $4.90. Take a wee look at that. Look at that, mate. So this is definitely the cheapest of the lot that we've had today. Let's see how they're doing for temperature. Oh, I get the feeling this one's going to be a bit cooler. Oh no, getting up to 56. Still low. When you compare that to over 70, what was it, 78, almost 80, I mean, that's a huge amount of difference. 57 degrees is the temperature of that pie. Not great, but still. This is, it's kind of like a square sort of a shape, I suppose. It's got quite, quite solid pastry around the sides. Not too bad, nothing more sort of solid than we've experienced before. We've got almost not quite enough top on the pie for this one, but that's okay. It's nice and golden brown on the top. This is reminiscent more of something like a Georgie pie, you know, like that old school kind of look. Let's try this $4.90 pie. Remember, $4.90 pie from Mobil. Steak and cheese, don't forget. Okay. It's another one of those lip-smacking pies where the pastry just kind of sucks all the juice out of your mouth. The flavour of the pie itself is pretty good. It's definitely the worst one today, I'm just going to say. However, remember that price of $4.90. So if you're in a pinch and you needed a sub $5 pie, this would be perfectly adequate. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's quite dry. If you see the mint, see how dry that sort of looks? That's what I mean. The other pies, if you remember, had that glistening kind of gravy, whereas this looks a bit more sort of congealed, if you know what I mean. Yeah, dry is not what you want your pie. Oh, sorry. Now, I think it's probably been in the pie warmer for a wee bit, maybe. Pastry on top's really good. There are some chunks of meat in there, but that gravy is really congealed and quite gelatinous. It lets it down a lot. So I'll give this one a 5 out of 10. And the good things are the price and the chunks of meat. Nice pastry on top. Bad things, crumbly sort of pastry, dry. The gravy is just pants, and not really a lot of cheese in there either. So there we go. That's right. That's right. That's good. So there we go. What was that? Sit. You wait there. That was 6 pies from service stations in Otatahi, Christchurch. I don't think we missed any. A pretty good experience. And honestly, some of those pies, when you think back to that first review video we did, when we did actual like bakeries, there are some strong contenders. And I think some of those, especially the earlier ones, maybe that Z one especially, was even better than a couple of those bakeries that we actually tried. So some of them were molten, and I actually didn't mind that. I think that's good. I'd rather have a pie that's too hot and let it cool down than a lukewarm pie that's just quite rubbish to start with. And it could have been good if it had been hotter earlier, if you know what I'm saying. So, thank you so much for watching this review of service station pies. My name is Morgan, you've been watching MorgNuts, and we'll see you in the next video.